implementing some of the strictest COVID restrictions in the whole of the UK, Welsh First Minister Mark Drakeford has been found to be flouting his own advice as he dances amongst crowds at a Diwali celebration. Let's take a look at this.
The absolute state of that.
I mean, what that is more than anything is a massive embarrassment.
Yes.
Massive national...
You're just waiting for Justin Trudeau to turn up, aren't you?
Just Trudeau.
Much Trudeau about nothing there, I think. I mispronounced his name, but who cares? Well, apparently everyone in the gallery. Yeah, we're going to open the hypocrite files now, aren't we? And we're going to talk to Rich Taylor, political commentator and host of the Rich Politics podcast. Does this stick in your craw, Rich? I mean, this guy's been hammering people's civil liberties left, right and centre. Should he fine himself?
Well, first of all, thanks for allowing me to call this hypocrite out. This is more hypocritical than Con26, to be honest with you. This is a man, don't forget, who's mandated masks inside shops, told people to wear them in indoor spaces. The measures he's put in place are far greater than anything you've seen in England. And here he is prancing about on a dance floor. Actually, the event was organised and it was held in Cardiff University. It was called the Ganja Connect exhibition, ganja being the appropriate word. The reality is the Welsh media here have not called this out. They're more concerned over his style of dancing and his quality of dance. Yet this is a man, don't forget, on the 9th of November, last Tuesday, with 600 protesters or so that I gathered with outside the Welsh Parliament to protest against vaccine passports being introduced into cinemas, theatres and concert halls. And here he is, watching the footage, which, by the way, has had over 500,000 views on my Twitter account. So people in Wales are very, very angry because this smacks in the face of hypocrisy, a man that has laid down the law for so many of us that we've had to live here under Wales. And I will say this to you viewers, I am not going to comply. I have had enough of governments and politicians that are purely being hypocritical and telling us what we should do when they're breaking the rules themselves. The guy is a complete joke, and he should at the very least, Patrick and Mercy, this man should offer an apology to the many people that he has shown contempt to here in Wales.
Absolutely.
And the problem is the people of Wales don't have much at their disposal if they oppose these things, because it is still the case that, you know, for example, you have to have that vaccine passport if you want to attend large events. That vote passed in somewhat dubious circumstances. But what can people do if they say, hang on, I don't want to do these things? They can't do much, can they?
No, I look what happens in the Senate here when they debate in the chamber in Cardiff. The whole ideal premises of the vaccine passport being introduced by Leonard Morgan, who's the Health Minister for Wales, was based on anecdotal evidence. That is public record. There is no scientific, medical reasons why vaccine passports were introduced into Wales. It's an absolute disgrace. And what we're seeing in Austria now, we look at that and think, oh, that's terrible. Believe me, to all the viewers out there, in the UK and here in Wales, this is a creep towards where we're heading if we don't stand up and speak out. And I would urge everyone not to just take it when politicians pass legislation like this, but stand up and speak up, because our freedoms, our medical privacy and our right to choose is being taken away from us by politicians. And surely that can't be right. But I go back to my original point. There is no scientific medical basis for vaccine passports. It means this: someone can go to a cinema tonight, in Wales to show a vaccine passport into a cinema that's empty, just you by yourself there. But yet Mark Drakeford can go to a party, and this party happened on the 13th of November, after he'd passed the law, you have to show a vaccine passport. I doubt very much that he had to show a vaccine passport at that Diwali celebration when he's prancing around to Bollywood music. No, he doesn't. He's a complete hypocrite, and the man deserves to resign. He should resign, and he should apologise to the Welsh people. It's a disgrace.
Do you not think sometimes what a clever thing this coronavirus really is? It won't get you if you're at a maskless barbecue at the G7. It can't possibly get you if you're at a climate rally. It can't possibly get you at a civil rights march in London. And it absolutely, 100% will not get you in a room full of Diwali celebrations, will it?
No, well, listen, I'm all for partying. I mean, in fact, I'm not listening to the government. No, I don't care. He's just giving me look, he's just said, Rich, do what you want. But I've been doing it anyway because I don't comply to the government. I stopped listening to the government months ago because all they do is lay down legislation and there's no sense to most of it. Let's be quite frank about it. And I know there's different opinions, people don't agree with me. That's fine. We're all entitled to that opinion. I respect yours if it's different. But I am passionate about this because I have seen what has happened to citizens here in Wales the last 20 months, and it is deplorable. We had aisles blocked off and you could not buy essential goods from shops. I mean, it's absolutely absurd. And yet Welsh media are giving this man a free pass. I'll call them out. I'm not going to mention them by name personally, but they're giving this man a free pass constantly. There is no scrutiny. There is no questioning over these things. They simply love the guy. And that is wrong. So thank you to GB News for at least giving me the opportunity to come on and share with the people, the viewers, especially those watching in Wales. And if you're not watching in Wales, why aren't you watching in Wales? Get on GB News because the others are rubbish. Anyway, so it's important that people understand this because politicians, we've seen it, haven't we? Not just with what's happening in Wales, but look what happened with COP26. I like to call it CON26. You mentioned earlier in the programme, was it a flop? Of course it was a flop. According to this Zoom call, I've saved you 0.11 carbon emissions. That's what I've saved you. I've probably saved you more than what they saved you at that conference. It's an absolute joke. The biggest theatre pantomime I think I've ever seen.
Very popular in our inbox, Rich, and it's no surprise it's people saying they could listen to you all day and you've got some backbone, and I think that's certainly fair enough. Thank you very much, Rich. Rich Taylor there, of course, political commentator and host of Rich Politics Podcast.